Pay attention. There are more important developments in immigration. Did you know that the US plans to take in 50,000 refugees from Latin America by 2024? Stay tuned because this and more news will be told by Attorney Quiroga below.
Bienvenidos a la sección de noticias de la semana con el abogado Quiroga, un espacio que se abre para compartir todas las novedades de materia de inmigración. Estas son las noticias de inmigración más importantes de la semana. Te invitamos a seguirnos sintonizando.
Hi everybody, Hector Quiroga bringing you the review of the most important news in immigration as far as we are concerned regarding this week 40, 2023, third quarter of the year. First news has to be with the announcement of the White House that is expecting 50,000 new refugees in 2024. They are getting ready to support 50,000 more refugees in the fiscal year of 2024. So we know it's a good move to start looking to the future, and that is applaud the administration on that. However, there are very high critics on this. There were about 6,000 refugees. So the increment and the lack of explanation on how they're going to support 50,000 if they're having problems with 6,000 is interesting. For those of you who follow immigration news, as you know, an asylee is the person who comes into the country to ask for asylum. A refugee is when the government goes into other countries and bring them in. So going out and bringing in 50,000 people is highly debatable, very political, and we'll see if the White House will actually explain how and where these refugees would be resettled. It's an important point. In other news, White House and the study, very dark and not very optimistic. We're going to be looking for 124,000 new medical doctors by the year 2024. What this means is that the United States is having a healthcare crisis, doesn't have enough medical practitioners to tend to the US population, and this is where immigration comes in and help us bring doctors into the United States. It is estimated that about 25% of the doctors would be brought from abroad to try to offset this huge number. It's important to follow programs like Conrad Terry in Iowa, who is really trying to be the leader and is at the vanguard of bringing medical professionals to help the United States deal with the healthcare crisis. The next news has to do with Venezuelan TPS is being extended 18 more months for those of people who have it currently, and it is being redesigned. It is being asked people from Venezuelan citizens who have been in the United States continuously from July 31st, 2023 till present may apply for this benefit. It is estimated that 474,000 people will be covered under this new program, and so it's very good news for Venezuelans who can seek protection and they can come in. Now, the government is very clear. Anybody who cannot prove that they have been in the United States before July 31st, 2023 will not qualify for the program. So it is important that now that the program is open, those who do qualify will apply. It is also clear the government is saying it will extend those who have TPS for 18 months, additional 18 months, so long as they meet the requirements, which is mainly there's no issues with any inadmissibility or any kind of criminal issue that would disqualify them from the program. Switching to USCIS, USCIS is announcing that it will review in detail the $85 biometric fee that it places in non-immigrant petitions when they are adjusting status to immigrant. Now, this $85 fee will probably go away depending on what the examination says. It says that if they decide to take it away, they will reimburse the people who paid for this after October 1st, 2023. Here's the problem with this, and what they are being highly criticized, is that USCIS and the government has expressed that it is precisely the lack of resources why so many cases are completely backlogged. Hundreds of thousands of applications by United States citizens petitioning for their kids or petitions by their spouses are completely backlogged. Same with investment visas, same with waivers, completely backlogged, and they quote the lack of financial resources. And so seeing that they want to get away with this fee seems in contradiction of what the government is saying. However, if the access to these programs is easier on immigrants, we applaud that. And we really do think the government should be consistent on whether or not financial resources are the main reason of the backlogs that is happening with the cases. The final point this week has to be with CBP One. That's the app that they're giving immigrants to come to the southern border and ask for an asylum interview. Many individuals report issues, not having internet, not having a phone. The app crashes constantly. It's very difficult to navigate. As an immigration practitioner, I can tell you it's been extremely frustrating. However, we do apply the pull to have an actual technology organize the system at the border. That is a good point. Now, the criticism this week comes from the fact that 99.97% of the people who have gone through this app and had a reasonable fit interview have been allowed into the United States. So there is a very high approval rate with only 628 petitions denied for inadmissibility, which is just incredibly high. And that begs the question, are they really vetting? Are they really looking at inadmissibility issues, sponsorship issues, vaccination issues, medical issues, and all of the array of other issues that typically a reasonable fit interview must have? So we hope that the app will continue to be used, but these issues that undermine the system get addressed promptly and can move the safety of the immigrants and the safety of the country forward. That's what we have for this week. I am Hector Quiroga. Please share this video. Let me know what you think about the most important news according to us regarding immigration. Thank you. Till the next time.
This has been the informative summary of week 40 of this 2023 that Attorney Quiroga has prepared for you. Remember to follow the Attorney Quiroga on all social networks as @Abogado Quiroga. Don't forget to share this news summary so that the entire immigrant community stays informed and up to date on the most important issues that interest us as an immigrants in the United States. See you next week.